I feel like I feel like I'm the stronger fighter. I feel like I'm more durable.
So Errol Spence had his turn on $1 Million Worth of Game with Gilly the Kid and Wallow. Errol Spence Jr. talked about, of course, Terence Crawford, amongst many other things, right? But Errol Spence, man, we've been waiting for him to do his interview, and now it is his turn.
You know what I'm saying? We smoking them blood packs, man. It's a great strain. That Terence Crawford strain.
He said he's smoking on that bud pack that is a great strain. It's the Terence Crawford strain. So they're smoking on bud packs. You know, they're doing this, they're doing that. You know, we're gonna see if Errol Spence could break Terence Crawford, because that's been a little storyline with this fight up until this point, is that Errol Spence is gonna break Terence Bud Crawford. But Errol Spence has some things to say about what he's gonna do to Terence Bud Crawford. Check it out.
I'm asking you, July 29th, why you gonna win? I ain't ask you how you feel like.
Because I'm gonna break him. Because I'm gonna break his will. I'm gonna break his mental, his physical. Shit, I probably break his spiritual.
Wow. So Errol Spence said he's gonna break Terence Crawford spiritual. He's it seems like he's banking on this war. Like, one thing he mentioned in this interview was a war, right? He seemed like he planning on going to war with Terence Bud Crawford, but I don't believe it's going to be a war unless Terence Crawford allows it to be a war.
I'm gonna break everything. You know, he gonna be broken. It's gonna be the first time. It's gonna be like them trying to break Kuta Kinte.
Kuta was a rough nigga.
Yeah.
Wow. So Errol the Truth, Big Fish Spence Jr. says he's going to break Terence Bud Crawford like he's Kunta Kinte. I mean, come on, Errol. I mean, I got to see how he's going to go through with this.
Terence
took a lot of slaps out of Big Game to fuck up.
Get his foot caught up all day. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take some time. It's definitely gonna be some work, but I'm definitely gonna break him.
So you know that it's gonna be a little rough, but I'm gonna get you.
Oh, it's definitely gonna be rough. I respect Terence. I know.
I respect that.
Yeah, I know how he coming, and I know his mentality is to kill, and I know he a dog. But like I say, I'm gonna break him.
He's gonna break him. He's speaking like he's gonna break him, like he's Bane trying to break Batman. This is what Errol Spence's game plan is. Errol Spence's game plan is to break Terence Bud Crawford like he's Batman. Errol Spence going to this fight as Bane. But I mean, I got to see it to believe it, because breaking a guy like Terence Crawford won't be an easy feat. Breaking a guy like Terence Crawford, it's something I got to see. I mean, the fight itself is 50-50 on paper for a lot of people. But I had my questions, and I asked these questions for a reason. And now he's going to be going and talking about Yordenis Ugas, right? He's going to be talking about Yordenis Ugas, and I questioned, did Ugas give Spence enough in that fight? Ugas didn't put up too much offense. He didn't put up too much resistance. Maybe Errol Spence broke Yordenis Ugas, right? Maybe that last April, right, when Errol Spence last fought, maybe he broke Yordenis Ugas in the ring, and this is why Yordenis Ugas didn't really amount up too much of offense against the big fish, Errol Spence Jr.
I got Ugas. I watched him, did what I had to do with him, and I already knew that fight I was gonna watch him, because if you looked on All Access, man, he was showing all his jewelry, you know, in the house with his woman, you know, kissing, making coffee, you know, doing all types. I said, oh, he too comfortable. I said, he living the American dream now. I said, I got him.
He just getting that big check.
He's showing off his house, everything.
You like, I did that shit 8 years ago.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I got him.
But one thing's for sure, two things for certain. I ain't seen too many people take an ass whooping like Ugas took in that fight.
Oh, he got hard.
I'm talking about that motherfucker. I was like,
yeah, he got hard to take an ass whooping like that. Fucking he got hard.
The fight with Ugas, man, you know, look, Ugas kind of stopped fighting after a certain point in the fight, right? After Errol Spence was reeling on the ropes, he kind of stopped fighting, right? He stopped really putting effort into his punches. I'm telling you, the fight with Pacquiao to Ugas was really putting effort into that fight. But when you watching against Spence, maybe Spence broke him, right? Maybe Spence broke Ugas' will, and Ugas didn't really feel like putting a lot of effort into the fight. But if you're watching that fight, it almost looked like Ugas was lightly punching Spence, sparring. And if you watch the Ugas and Shakur Stevenson, he was fighting the same way, just like nothing really on his shots, and Errol Spence was just there going to work. And that's when Errol Spence does his best work. I don't think Terence Bud Crawford, he's a harder puncher. He punches with intent. He's a more dynamic puncher. He can punch with both hands. Dennis Ugas stood square up right in front of Errol Spence, and that's when Errol Spence does his best work. So I'm not sure if Errol Spence is. I don't know if that's going to really be a necessarily good approach. Because the more volume you throw in, the more openness Terence Crawford is going to see. And it seems like Errol Spence also going into this fight, they have common opponents, right? They're using the fact that, he fought them when they was past their prime. He fought them when they were falling down the hill. So, that version, that don't really count. So, that's a false sense of security going into a fight with a guy like Terence Crawford. If he has that mentality going into that fight that, yeah, he may have handled Sean Porter and Kell Brook better. He may have stopped him. But they was past their prime. He got another thing coming July 29th, right? But let's see what else the Big Fish had to say on the $millions worth of game.
Errol Spence. People always say, we don't know where Errol Spence is going to show up.
Yes.
And he go the fuck crazy about that. Break this down, Gil.
Because, prime example, I'm not going to put your name out there. I'm talking to somebody from PBC. And we like, so who you got? He said, it's a close fight. It really all depends on which Errol show up.
I never had a great.
And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
Who said that? Cool boy?
No, I wasn't cool boy. But for me, it don't make no sense because it's like, y'all said that after the car accident, he came in and did what the fuck he had to do. Then y'all said that his next fight, he put a nigga in the hospital for 2 weeks. We already see what niggas coming back.
Yeah.
The nigga that whoop ass. So when they say that, I don't understand it. Do you understand that shit?
Yeah, I understand it. Because if people want to be rational, they don't think, like after that car accident, my career was supposed to be over. People were saying, oh, he's going to be a shell of himself.
Look, about the whole car accident thing, right? This goes back to my question I always ask. Was those fights against Danny and Ugas enough, considering what Errol Spence went through, considering the PTSD, the trauma, right? Was those fights enough? Did they give him enough in those fights? Yeah, he got past those fights. And me personally, I thought he looked good in the Danny fight, considering everything, right? A lot of people didn't think Errol looked good in that fight. Was it enough for him to go up in there with a guy like Terence Crawford, who is nothing like these guys, right? You heard him. He said that Ugas was living Hollywood, right? Ugas was styling and profiling, chilling with the woman in the big mansion. He was living an American dream, right? Errol Spence said, okay, I got him. But Terence Crawford's not that guy. See, Danny Garcia is somewhat the same. Living Hollywood, right? Errol Spence said, I got him. But Terence Crawford, nah, he don't live like that, right? He don't go out. He's not a flashy dude. He's not doing any of that stuff. So what you go do? What version of Errol Spence go show up July 29th? Because Errol Spence talking war, like this fight's going to be a war, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be a war. It's only going to be a war if these guys are evenly matched, right? Skill for skill, their speed, everything is equal. That's when they'll turn into some type of war.
When I look at Errol Spence, I say he's more fundamentally sound. And he's more active. He throw more punches. They say, oh, Bud got to take 3-4 rounds to download you, but fucking with Errol, you're going to be down 4-0.
But that's the only thing that make me scared with betting this fucking money. Because when I did the research, this motherfucker.
Now, there's a narrative that Terence Crawford starts slow in fights. He got download data, et cetera, et cetera. But if you look at his fights with Sean Porter, what happened? Sean Porter came out fast, right? What happened with Amir Khan fight? Terence Crawford didn't have time to download nothing. Amir Khan came out hot against Terence Crawford. He didn't want to give him a chance to download nothing. Guess what? It still didn't end well for neither guy. And in my opinion, both guys, those two guys, the fast starters, Sean Porter and Amir Khan, have very unorthodox styles versus a guy like Errol Spence who's very more straightforward.
For come right out the gate and want to get busy. You don't even want to wait nothing. I'm like, damn. I'm already talking shit to somebody betting some money. I'm like, then my man, Bud, he want to be a fucking computer. He want to download systems and apps and shit. I'm like, bro, man, like, I don't
around and get a virus.
That's too much time. That's my fucking man. But
He said, boy, go F around and get a virus. Sitting there downloading all that data, he gonna get a virus. Wow. The Big Fish got a lot of jokes when it comes to Terence Bud Crawford.
you my guy. But you know, and I'm like, this ain't the place to be downloading right now, man.
He's ever fucking around.
No, because he want to come right out and get this motherfucker come right out.
Online while he gonna
yeah, line, listen, he come right out. I looked at all these videos. I said, damn, this shit put me in the fucked up position. Because I didn't.
Overall, it was a good interview, right?
It happened. That you was like, this, I might never fight again.
I mean, it was certain moments like that, but you know, you even asked my mom and my dad, the first time I got out the hospital, I stayed in a high rise in Uptown, and I walked up like 20, 30 flights of steps like 2 weeks after the hospital. And even when I was in the hospital, I don't remember nothing for probably the first 6 weeks when I was in the hospital.
Wait, you was in the hospital for 6 weeks?
Yeah, I was in the hospital for like.
And you don't even remember being in the hospital?
I don't remember. Like, Al Hammond came to the hospital. I don't remember none of that. I didn't know he came to the hospital probably like 4 months after being in the hospital.
No, time out. Did you show Al?
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna let you guys check out the rest of the interview. Errol Spence was talking about the accident, man. I'm glad he's fully made a full recovery, man. A lot of people don't never necessarily return for something so horrific like what Errol Spence has went through, and look where he's at today. So that says a lot about Errol Spence Jr., man. But even though that being said, I still got Terence Bud Crawford beating Errol Spence Jr. July 29th. I got Terence Bud Crawford within 10 rounds, anywhere within 10 rounds. I don't think it goes past 10 rounds. But Errol Spence Jr. gave his thoughts, said that he's going to break Terence Bud Crawford like Kunta Kinte. Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.